Hello everyone, in this video I want to talk to you about Module 5, Week 5. What to expect in some of your responsibilities. To do so, I'm going to go into our course calendar, but I'm also going to talk about a few housekeeping issues. The first to note is that I did extend the final draft submission deadline for your literary analysis essay. Why did I do so? Because I was behind on grading, and I think it's fair to extend the deadline. So it's now due on the 13th of November, no longer due on the 10th. So when you go into the updated course calendar, and you can see the updated course calendar, anytime I update the course calendar, you will see it reflected here. So it's now due on the 13th of November. Okay? So that's the only change I've made to the, and I gave you guys a heads up I was going to make the change. If you submitted your literary analysis essay assignment, you should have received feedback on it by now. If you didn't, then I gave you a 0 for non-submission. If you do submit it, make sure you submit the final draft, because at this point you should be focusing on working on your final draft. If for some reason you find it difficult to work on this paper, I think most of the grades I gave for the draft they were pretty strong papers. My observation from what I have seen is that a couple of you were focusing too much on the examples I gave. Now I said it clearly on the assignment. Let me go into it so that we're on the same page. If you look at the literary analysis assignment, I stated on the assignment that I want you guys to not to lean too much on the examples I provided. Why? Because I want you to be creative. You can find your own examples. Don't rely just on the examples I've given you. Not that you can't use them, it's just I don't want you to be too dependent on the examples. Show me that you're creative in finding your own examples. So at minimum you should just use one. Don't be using, I would like, if possible, to use other examples that you found from watching the movie. So don't rely fully on just my examples. You're not telling me that you were paying attention to other examples, but maybe it's a coincidence you found the examples that I provided, but I'm sure that you can find your own examples. So if you use all the examples I provided here, I want you to do better by finding at least one or two of your own examples, okay? Not that you can use any, but just find your own examples. I want to see that you are paying attention to detail in terms of finding there are lots of metaphors used. So don't just focus on the one that I provided, which I found from watching the movie. And I stated it clearly here that you should find your examples, not merely rely on my examples. So that's one short point I'll make. Another point I'll make is that I was really clear what I wanted you guys to do on this assignment. And that has to do with talking about the use of arguments and literary devices in relation to persuasion. That was mentioned clearly here. So if I'm looking at your paper and I don't see a discussion on this, that's telling me something about that you didn't necessarily follow my assignment instructions. So feedback I've given you are individual. It's based on an individual, it's contextualized to the individual level. So you all have different particular areas where you're struggling. Some of you didn't turn in an outline. Some of you you're just at different stages. So I contextualized it. So that's that on the literary analysis assignment, first draft. Now for your final draft, I said it's due on the 13th. You want to do your best. Look at samples if that helps. In week 5, what to expect, as I've mentioned, you are going to be presenting. The time that you guys decide to present is up to you. All I care is that I see it by the deadline, which is on the 15th. Now I expect that one of you, preferably the group leader, will submit it on behalf of the team, but if the group leader is not able to submit it, then one of you should submit it. There's going to be two parts of the, if you go into the instructions, you will see this there. The presentation slides is for me to grade. The video is for your peers to grade. So in other words, when you're submitting your slides, you will go into this particular forum. You will see I'm going to list a group, and that's where you will see group A, group B, group C, and that's where you post. Okay, so right now you don't see it here because I have not created it, but I'm going to create it at the end of this video, and that's where you post your presentation slides. Okay, sorry, not presentation slide, that's where you post your recorded video. Okay, so group A will post your video, group B will post your video, and group C, and so on and so forth. Now, this is the prompt that you would be responding to, the discussion board prompt for week 5. Okay, so you have looking at the course calendar, you will notice that there is an exercise on identifying inductive and deductive arguments. So that is due on the 17th. If you want to do it, it's simple. It's about 5 questions, multiple choice, I believe. So you should be able to answer that. It's simple one. Most students tend to get a lot. I mean, it's pretty basic. Okay, the next thing you will notice is that there is a question and answer to assign group members. So this is how I've designed it. So if you're in group A, you will respond to pose a question to group B, B to C, C to D, and D to A, and you respond to in a similar order. So A is responding to B, and B is responding to C, and C is responding to D, and B is responding to A. Okay, so that's how that's going to work out. Okay, and you see the date that it's due. If you want to use WebEx, feel free to do so. If you want to use Zoom, you can do that as well. You have multiple options. Let me go into the course materials so you can see some of the other suggested items that I've planned or that I've prepared the materials. There are materials on logical fallacy. Materials, if you want to understand, have a sense of what I'm expecting. Then of course this link will take you to the quiz on logical fallacies and arguments. Okay, let's see, let's look at the course calendar so that we have what is reflected. So there's a quiz on logical fallacies and arguments which you will take by the 17th. So there's a lot on your plate this week. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an online class. So I really want to say that you should do your best. This is only 8 weeks, and I realize how things are moving so fast. I'm thinking of cutting things out, and I've cut out some things from this, but I want you guys to plan and prepare. Me reviewing this is to give you an idea of what you can expect this week, and it's going to be very busy. My suggestion to you is to take it one step at a time. Don't try to do everything all at once. Otherwise, you'll be so overwhelmed and you won't have time. Now, sometimes I do give student grace period, like when you turn in something late, I could send a reminder and not take any points. Okay, so that's it. You probably notice it. If those of you turn in something late, I didn't take out points. But there's a time, and I just have to make a decision. So if I don't see your submission, I will give you 0. Because I'm likely giving you an extra day without you attending to it. That's not to justify that you turn in and work late, but if you're late by a few hours, that's okay. What else do I need to say? There is, in addition to the group project, I know it's busy for you guys, and I'm thinking about how you're responding to this. Since I know the group work could be a challenge, and I'm not going to deny it. I've already seen some responses from some of you, and I could tell that there's a deflection of responsibility going on. Now, as I've said, I'm not new to this, planning something like this, so nothing really surprises me. If you want to watch, there's a video I've posted here. It's called Group Project Gone Wrong. I really encourage you to watch it. Well, it just explains typical things that happen during group projects. So if you are placed in a group and you're a group leader, if something is wrong, something goes wrong in your group, understand that I anticipated something will go wrong. However, I do expect you to be frank with me if I reach out to you for clarification, because I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, especially when placed in the group. Some students have reached out to me, and I know that I try to give you benefit of doubt. So if I reach out to you to check in with you regarding your group project, please try to get back to me. It's just to understand context. I want to be fair to everyone and not assume that some people are lazy and didn't do the work when they've never been given the benefit of a doubt or being informed as a group what they are supposed to do. Having said that, I would say that when you look at the course calendar, you will see what I've planned here, and it's for week 5. This is a huge test because you have a lot coming at you. So this class is ending soon, and I'm just trying to see what I can do to prepare you. You're supposed to do in readings. That's what you're doing in readings. I'm supposed to be assessing how you I'm supposed to be assessing your knowledge, and that's why I'm having all this. I have like one short quiz. This one is worth 20 points. So please bear with me. This class will be over soon. Think of this as just a matter of time. If you can survive this week, you will survive this class. I believe you will all survive this class. So I'm not deciding to be mean. It's just what I have to do. Now I want to mention this, that when you're turning your group project, there is a 1-page essay for you to reflect on working as a group. This is individual. Now you guys already are having experiences as you work as a group, and I know that some of your experience is interesting. If you do this reflection essay, as long as you're honest, I should give you the entire points. So it's pretty simple what I asked you to do. So it's what, 100 points? This is probably the easiest 100 points you ever earn in this class. All you have to do is just be honest about how the group project went from your perspective. Okay? So that is you already see that reflected here, reflection essay. So it's an essay within that is kind of tied to the group project. The reason I've created this essay is because I want to hear students' perspective from group project. I've always done group project in my online writing classes, and I've had different stories, different experiences. So for those of you who reached out to me and said, well, group project online class is hard. I know that. It's nothing new, but your response is what matters. Okay? So I have covered pretty much what you can expect for the week. I'm also assuming that you are diligent readers, that you will go through the materials you're supposed to learn for the week, and that when you go through the materials, you will also are looking for opportunities to grow. That means you're looking at the extra materials, the teacher copy materials, the student copy material. Okay? And there's not much I could say than to wish you the best of luck during your presentation, and you should reach out to me if you're having issues with your group. I repeat, reach out to me, because I want you to be on board. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but if you don't see anything, I will make decisions from my end as to how I'm seeing things. On that note, I want to say have a great rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing your various presentations. Bye-bye.